What's up, y'all? Nick from CORSAIR here. Today we're doing a PC build in our 2000D case alongside our iCUE Link system. I'm really excited personally since this is actually my first time doing a build in a Mini-ITX case, and it's also my first time using iCUE Link actually. So for that reason, we have Albert from Tech Marketing here to help me out and answer any questions I have along the way. So without further ado, let's get started with the build. All right, Albert, what do you think the first step should be for building in the 2000D case?
I would knock out the front fans right now just so you don't have any components blocking you in the future. And plus, on top of that, just want to figure out your iCUE Link cable routing now rather than later. It'll do you a huge favor, especially in such a compact case.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely not the first thing I would have done. So I'm glad you're here, man. So let's get to it.
Got you, bro.
All right, so to install the front fans, we're gonna have to remove some side panels here, but luckily on the 2000D, all of them come off. Easy peasy. All right, next we're gonna remove the dust filter on the back. All right, I'm having my first look inside this case. It's really nice, really open actually. I can start visualizing where everything's gonna go. Albert, what would you say you like about building inside this case?
I've built in about 4 or 5 of these, and for its size, it's honestly pretty easy.
My God, I'm so glad I don't have to route cables anymore. All right, so I got the fans attached. Before I put them in, Albert, am I supposed to be doing anything else like routing cables? What do you think?
Yeah, first I plan where I would put the iCUE Link hub, where you're gonna put in the case. And then from there, you can figure out what kind of cable lengths and what kind of connector you're gonna use for these iCUE Link fans in the front, just to make it a lot more streamlined.
Okay, so would I put like the cables on first and then screw them in?
Yep, that'd be exactly ideal.
All right, I'm gonna install my 90-degree cable here. So is cable routing something that you do first for all of your builds, or is it kind of just specific to the smaller cases like this?
That's a good question. Typically, yeah, in a smaller case, it would definitely help. It's just because if you install the fans first, it's a really tight space to try to get the connector in there.
I'm going to connect this to my iCUE Link hub just to have it ready to go. All right, fans are in. Motherboard next, right, Albert?
You got this.
All right, say less. All right, so I got the motherboard ready to go and I see where I'm supposed to put it, but how am I supposed to orient it, Albert?
So you're gonna have the rear I/O facing down. The reason for that is we have this bottom channel here. So there's all your cables that's gonna route through there and connect to the motherboard.
All right, since we're building in a Mini-ITX case, we got an SFX power supply here. This one packs 1,000 watts in this tiny package, so that's pretty dope. Albert, would you say that we should plug in the cables before we actually mount this to the case?
Yeah, definitely a general good practice, and it's definitely gonna be more helpful in a small form factor case like this.
So one of the cool things about the 2000D is that the power supply cage actually comes out, so you can just mount your power supply to this and then put that all back in together.
All right, now that you got the power supply in there, you're gonna hook up the micro USB and power connector to your iCUE Link hub.
All right, got it. And another cool thing about this case is that you don't really have to compromise on the size of your graphics card. So we're gonna be tossing in a 4080 FE here. All right, so we move the fans to the other side of the radiator so we don't miss out on any of that good old RGB.
And we oriented the fans to push cool air through the radiator from the outside.
All right, so if I got this right, to complete the iCUE Link loop, we are connecting the fans to the AIO and then the AIO to the iCUE Link hub, right?
That's right.
I also noticed that there are these plastic tabs on the cables. Are these supposed to be here, Albert?
Yep, they're just pull tabs to easily remove the connectors, and you could just clip them off if you don't want them.
I know no one's gonna see this, but I'll know. All right, build's done. First time building in a Mini-ITX environment, and I will say I'm very happy that we did it with iCUE Link. It saved me a lot of time and headache, especially with cable managing in such a tiny space in the 2000D. But overall, it was a great building experience, and I do suggest this case for anyone who is looking to get into a Mini-ITX format.